Hello everyone, and welcome to the Monster Hunter Return!
Ah, I miss this game. And I'm mostly doing this because Rise comes out in 11 days, roughly. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for Rise, and I wanted to try and get as much as I could in World done before it comes out. That was my whole goal originally. And now, my hope is to get something similar to that. So, for anybody wondering about this, if you're watching the stream live, you can join the hub and play along. I'll help you with quests, you can help me with quests, whatever happens, round robin, only host. I don't care. Or I'm mostly doing this to try and clear out some of the old quests that I haven't done yet. But if you're watching the VOD, I'm sorry, but you could always try and join them next time. So, session ID is currently in the chat. And I'll wait a bit for some more people to show up before I get into what exactly I've done. I'm really trying to balance my own audio here. Yeah, I've done a good bit. I was going to stream some of it, but I couldn't exactly tell when it was the extended story. So, currently, I've done the See as an Ogre in the Grinding Lands, fight a Yingaruga in the Grinding Lands, fight Rajang. All that stuff. Got it done. I've also been playing around with Switch Axe in the event that I do get to Elatrion before Rise comes out. Because once Rise comes out, I'm probably not going to be seen for the next couple of months. It really depends on how into Rise I get. Right now, I'm mostly going to clear out older quests and go after stuff that I wanted to try and get. So, clearing out the wish list as well. So some layered armor, some switch axes that I desperately desire. And overall just going to have some fun playing. So I really wish, when I have something like that. So OBS has Twitch stats. Yeah, the Twitch stats don't update as much as I would like them to. It's like, it takes a snapshot of whatever your stats are if you were to use the Twitch stream manager, and it never updates as much as I'd like it to, because for a couple of streams it's been delayed by the entire stream. Genuinely. I was finishing up the stream and it finally updated from, here's your stats at 31 minutes into the stream. Here's your stats at 5 hours into the stream. Oh, you ended the stream. And it's just, God, it's aggravating. So, let's head off to the Gathering Hall, because then I can just manage stuff there. Don't need to worry. Not going to go into the Grinding Lands too much. I mean, I can't avoid going into there, but And now I have a chance of getting some of the spring tickets. Ah yes, Full Bloom Festival. quest stuff, sales stuff, limited bounties, bonuses, the VIP Bloom tickets to get the layered armor, Steamworks, Linian Observation, room decor. Never really cared for that.
Hey, partner. Hey, you.
Well, let's get underway with our low rank quests. Because, yeah, I've cleared out all but the final few special arenas. And I think these are the final few. Then I have to go through high rank. And that's mostly going to be a whole lot of quests. Why not? Oh yeah, I adjusted my schedule because turns out I have the ability to start an hour early for Mondays. Everything else I have to factor in the wait for getting dinner and such, also eating it. So that's why every other time I start at all close to 6, I lost my train of thought. While hunting, I quickly lose any semblance of speech besides maybe narrating what's happening. One thing I'm going to need to grind for is Fragment. Because I have an Agitator charm, and I really want to get that fully maxed out. But this shouldn't take too long. A couple minutes. Yep. All according to plan. And should be nearly done. Probably would have been done right there. Well, just outside range. One final 2 cards, maybe? There we go. Yeah, need to grab the tail. So I haven't really played much Monster Hunter. I mean, once I found out the Magnum Aloe update for the Rise demo happened, played that for a couple quests. Got really close to succeeding when I switched over to Switch Axe. But that was the last attempt because my Switch has a problem where the left Joy-Con, when connected in handheld mode, will randomly disconnect. Like, all signal just lost from it. As if it's being taken off to be played in console mode, or you need to place down your Switch edge on a table, and you're playing it in console mode, but it's not connected to a dock. I don't know what that is technically. Like, what it's called.
Hey, you.
Let's take care of the Rathalos. And immediately my ears are hating this. It's this weird thing where, if I have my headphones on too long, my ears don't... It's not a heat thing, but it's this weird aggravation and, like, the sensation that something's crawling right behind my ear. Well, anyway, I might as well go into sets since I'm going to switch over quickly. Here's my Brack set, which is also a Blast set. And I call it Blast Greatsword Plus because instead of using the Brachydios pieces, it's using the Kaiser pieces, which is Teostra. And let me tell you, getting Master Rank Teostra was a thing. It was aggravating to try and get him because, conveniently, as soon as I decide, hey, I'm going to farm Teostra so that then I can get the pieces so that I can make a decent no-loss sharpness set. You know, and always crit Master Touch. Never appeared in an expedition, never got an investigation for him until after I finished all the grinding. And best part, I had to do the We Three Kings quest to just unlock the optionals for him. Then I had to fight him a bunch to get the armor, but that wasn't actually that bad. The only downside of this is I lose all the agitator I had, but I gain a lot more helpful stuff with this. Mostly all weakness exploit, which really helped. Yeah. And I'm switching my Greatsword and Switch Axe pages. So yeah, I can get away with using this. But yeah, here's my Switch Axe setup. I have the Ice Switch Axe, which uses the same thing as my Blast Greatsword, because why not? And I have an Electric Switch Axe, which uses the same thing, because it's just that good of a set. And I just have Thunderproof Mantle Plus because I didn't care to switch out mantles. But anyway, I'm trying to get my Lightning Switch Axe over to Zinogre. Because, well, it's just better. And I'm not as much an expert on Switch Axe as I am on something like Greatsword. Then again, Greatsword's an easy weapon to pick up and use. But actually understanding the weapon takes learning the monster. Because you can't just do the same moves over and over for every monster. Technically, you already do that. But the same strategy for one monster may not work for the other. Like fighting a Radobon and fighting a Rathalos. Two completely different monsters with completely different movesets. And as such, you have to approach them different ways. I don't worry about using the Ballista. And honestly, because it's low-rank monsters, I'm not even worrying about getting like armor and demon drugs on. Well, immediately I see that this is going to be a pain. I want to latch onto the tail. I'll take what I can get. But if... Okay, that one was genuinely the legs, so... I don't mind. Come on. Okay, your flight privileges are being revoked. Yeah, I had a slight moment where I forgot which version of the weapon I was using. Like, I genuinely thought, okay, I'm doing combo on the tail, loading up sword or combo. Let's just get this other leg. Oh. Let's get this done. Done. And let's do it again. I love that you can go from a clutch claw attack into an element discharge. Now, as I said a bit earlier, I am not an expert on Switch Axe. However, I do have a lot of fun playing it, and to me that means a lot more than actually succeeding with a weapon. But success does make it a little bit better. I was going to say a lot, then nah. Besides, that was a low rank for Rathalos, so of course it wouldn't be that much of a challenge. Ah, man. You ever have that good moment where you don't need to stretch, but like the deeper part of your subconscious says, nah, stretch. And then afterwards you just feel so much better. Yeah. Really nice. Ecological research, some tail raider stuff. Need to refertilize. And then take care of the tail raiders and such. I've just kind of been sending the tail raiders out whenever, and to whatever would give me roughly the most stuff. So ecological research.
Thank you.
And let's just make a quick stop at the smithy to see about any other Switch Axes I might want to get, or I could now make.
How's your gear holding up?
So Switch Axes. ENG would be one that I would be interested in if I wanted more of a raw damage kind of bonus. I have Velcana, so I don't necessarily need Lagiana, even though you have Power Element with Lagiana. That was a big debate I had with myself. Do I go for Power Element vials or Power vials? Technically, Power Element just is the standard Power vial, but it's your element, you know, self-explanatory and all that. But for this, it's one of those, what would actually get me more? And I haven't looked into it because I'm lazy. But that's also why I'm making some weapons, like the Deep Lagoon 2, for power element, and I'm mostly gauging it on how easy it would be to get the weapon. Like, getting a Namiel weapon versus getting the Koropuki weapon, Namiel's a bit harder since you have to fight Kieran. Technically, Gerototus would be even easier since I wouldn't have to fight regular Pookie to then upgrade into Coral. I just go off of the Gerototus weapon and upgrade it, but I get less sharpness and I think less element. 910, 420 versus... Okay, so I get a bit more raw, a bit less sharpness, but I get, again, more raw. Whereas the element and sharpness trade-off is actually a lot better for Coral Pookie. Let's see. I wanted to make the Brack Switch Axe because why not? Why not make use of that bit of blast element? Plus, I think it would be fun to add. Anything else? A Safi Switch Axe wouldn't be too bad. Oh, and of course I forgot I unlocked Rajang. Don't really care for his weapons. Or his armor. His armor is one of those ones. You look at it and it goes, for somebody that's probably good, but for me, not so much. So let's get our inventory back in order. Go back to Greatsword because I already miss it. Plus, it's one of my favorite transmogs, and interesting fact, when I stopped playing Iceborne on the PS4, I was actually wearing this exact transmog. And I think it just looks nice. It flows oddly well. I mean, the head you could have either just no helmet or have the leather helmet like I have. I like the thought of the leather helmet like, oh, this is a particularly dangerous environment with bits of debris in the air, or the monster has a habit of flinging stuff around, so might as well protect your eyes. It has that touch of realism that just makes it a bit nicer to me. Anyway, continuing on with quests. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I'm doing this to try and unlock all the quests that I haven't done yet. And I know with a lot of them, it's more in line with beating tempered monsters. Let's just get it done and over with. Besides, this is just helping me stock up on the low rank materials, so I'm not wasting anything by doing these quests. Technically, I'm actually gaining a lot from it. Zenny, monster materials. If I fail one, then yeah, I'm gonna lose stuff, but the chances of me failing any of these quests are almost none. It's just a lot of tedious work. Going out, fighting the monster. Going out, finding the monster, then fighting it. You know what? Yeah, let's just get the buffs on, so that then we have a slightly easier time with the fight, and hopefully just getting it done faster. Of course, during non-arena quests, just going to pick up tracks so that then I can find the monster even faster. And considering track points overflow into the next rank up, meaning even if you're only fighting the low rank version or following it, you're actually going to be gaining whatever rank you're currently at. So, if you were at master rank points for finding a monster, then you'll at a smaller amount, I think, but you'll still be gaining points. Okay. Oh, I was hoping I'd get that done faster. And once again, not really much of a problem. If it was tempered, I'd probably have more of it. It would be a tougher time to beat. That's a challenge. That was interesting. Your fire means nothing to me. Markenderization just means more chances to knock sharpness. And it looks like I really haven't, but I can tell that I have lost some sharpness. Ah. Okay. Oh, that worked out. And true charge. Technically, I wanted to make things go even faster. I should be trying to capture the monster, because then I don't have to wait an extra 40 seconds to get out of the quest. You know, little things. I'm not in the mindset of a speedrunner. I would love to try and speedrun a Monster Hunter game, though. Oh, it seems really interesting. But then you have a lot of RNG-dependent moments. Like, weapons, mostly. Because if you're good enough at Monster Hunter, you'll never get hit, and therefore, you don't need armor. Skills you would need. But the defense of the armor then doesn't really matter. I mean, that's why mix sets became a big thing in 4. Because, if you're good enough, you won't get hit, therefore you could use the lower defense values of other armor to get parts of the skills you want. Oh, cool. Plate. And a bunch of stuff. Okay. A lot of skills that I already had. Nice. I won't get any of the really amazing gems until I'm a fair ways in, like Elder Dragons. Next up, Palumu. This is when the game gets really boring. When you have to go back and do all the quests that you haven't done. Technically, you don't need to. But it's one of those things for me. I need to see that I've done all the quests. I need to at least have the silver check mark. don't actually need to gather Legiana tracks. Because I have enough Legiana tracks to just find it no matter what rank it is. Keep getting a bunch of tracks for Palumu popping up, but I assume they were a bit higher up. Stones. Continue on my way. Technically, if I go for the zipline, off to the left, map-wise left, of the area I was next to, I probably could have gotten here a tiny bit faster, because then I wouldn't have to move around as much. Damn you, Palumu. You just had to move all the way. Well, I'm slightly ticked off. Just have to catch it off guard. Now that is how you wake up a monster. Agitator's on. Meaning if I tenderize a bit, then I have guaranteed 100 affinity. Well, down we go. I think the monster is going to break out of the waiting period for you to latch on a lot faster. But that could just be from fighting all the grinding lands monsters, where they just seem to have no downtime for you to take advantage of. Tenderize the tail. And another charge. Didn't charge it all the way, though. Are you running away? Looks like it. Up. Oh, come on. Yep. Probably running to its nest. So, in that case, I think it would be faster to use the zip line. You always have to wonder, are some shortcuts faster than others? Sometimes it feels like yes, other times it feels like no. In old games, definitely faster to take certain shortcuts. In World, it almost feels like it doesn't matter what route you take. Sometimes it'll be the slightest bit faster, other times it'll be a lot slower. Mostly, if the scout flies can't decide what your exact route should have been, that's when you lose a lot of time trying to go after the monster. And cap. So now, just gotta wait. So let me ask you guys, how has your days been? Because I know a lot of people have been having trouble recently, mostly due to the whole thing of COVID still happening, and every day it makes me lose faith in humanity when somebody says, well, why do I have to wear a mask? Because everybody else is. Or, I'm wearing my mask. No, you're wearing a beard protector. Or a chin cover. It's one of those defining moments that tells you how stupid people can be. And how easily it is for people to just go and say, no, there is absolutely nothing wrong as the death toll climbs. Well, small monsters, then Dodogama. You know, let's try and do something else. Yes. Let's try and do this. I have Master Rank gear. I have a set that was pretty much the best for Master Rank for a time. And I mean, not for every class, but, or not class, but for every weapon, but it still was a big part of speedrunning stuff, you know, try-harding the game. And sadly, you know, Behemoth doesn't have
Finally happening.
any sort of weakness.
See you around, buddy.
Mostly in the form of, doesn't care if... Yeah, just doesn't care if you tenderize him. Come on. Haha, you've fallen for one of the classic tactical blunders. And so have I. Okay. Move over here. Yes. Once again, classic tactical blunder. Ah. Okay. Realizing at this point, get the buffs on. Tell my cat, or tail raiders. Get Charybdis to the edge of the arena. Manage this like it were a raid boss. Oh yeah, and that's part of my problem with Behemoth. The fact that, whatever you do, he can just say, yeah, no, you're getting hit. There we are. Also a proof of concept hole. That was through Rocksteady. What? What black magic is? I mean, currently Charybdis, so... I'm alone. A-lister. So, okay. Well, Agitator's activated. Oh god. Okay, okay, another Charybdis. I'm doing a lot better at this time around. Then again, Master Rank equipment. Cast Meteor. Quickly, 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 faster. Wait, you can! You can tenderize him. I thought that was just a myth. Genuinely, I didn't realize you could. He just stops you at every single attempt, so I just kind of went off of my own personal experience. I guess it's mostly just his moveset didn't translate into Iceborne tactics all that well. Okay, let's just tenderize those arms. Correction, arm. Could you stop casting Charybdis? I can flash him to stop him. Okay, faster. What's your next move? Oh, that's a bit of a... Never mind, that was perfectly fine. Behemoth. Oh, you gotta be kidding. You end the area by casting this, and you start the next one by casting it. Thanks. This is what I'm talking about, the whole Behemoth and Iceborne don't actually go well together. I mean, it could just be that in second area, he starts casting spells like crazy. Oh, okay. That was a change. Could you maybe stop with all the rapid casting? Oh, you've got to be kidding me! I hate Kushula for the same exact thing that Behemoth is currently doing. And that's spamming his moveset. You have got to be kidding me. What is this fight? Ow. If I have flash bombs, I will use them now. No. When I say no to magic, I mean no. Of course, you're going to just keep spamming it because I keep interrupting you. Are you done now? Have we reached a stamina limit? Please, tremor. Oh, that's in the middle of the arena now. Ah. Okay. Ow. So yeah, anybody else find this fun? You know, the constant spamming of a single move over and over again, and that is stopping you from doing anything. I said no, and then you said no. We agreed that the other was wrong in their thing. I'm dead. I am somehow not dead. Stop casting this! Stop tripping me as well! Could I maybe interest you in not summoning forth the winds? No, please. No, please. No, please. Please. I know how important that meteor is to me. Therefore, I cannot let it fall. I imagine part of my problem is, I shouldn't be doing this alone. At least not without cheesing it with heavy bowgun. I'm out of flash bombs, so my options are limited, and Charybdis lasts so damn long. Oh, no. Well, he just sat on the meteor until it was broken. Could you not? Great, the hitbox didn't quite line up. Okay. The old Behemoth, the all-powerful, almighty, magical death machine that doesn't stop. Okay, aerial greatsword. I've heard somewhere that this is an amazing cheese strap. I think I'm stuck between two Charybdis. Yep. Yep. I am dead. Correction. Three whole Charybdi. Well, I at least have a valuable arena to fight it in over here, except for the Charybdis in the middle. Fight me somewhere without swirling death wind. Please. Please stop with the Charybdis. He dropped slinger ammo. I also thought that was a myth.
I'm ready.
That did nothing. Okay, from the looks of it, he's going to just be casting Meteor a lot. And I can deal with that. If my problem was he just wasn't angry at me, then I fixed that. Okay. Caught against a wall. Don't care about that comment. I have safety comment. And I don't care about tenderizing him. I just need him to take enough damage. Oh, now he's back to being magic. Oh, that was bad. Since his attacks just don't stop. I got him into a bloody Charybdis. I couldn't heal fast enough to use regular potions. Okay, left wall. Left corner as well. I mean, kind of got stuck because started the slide animation. Oh. I got turned around. Then wind sheared. Please. I ran into one because I can't see them in front of me. He will dodging. So, Behemoth balance for 4 players. And 1 player with Master Rank gear cannot solo it because he is that difficult. Spin. Please don't break the comet, I need that. Stop summoning me! Just stop being magic! Please! Oh. Holy hell. Okay. Most of my time was used surviving and dodging. I was going to say stop that, but no, apparently not. Quickly. Slinger thought. If only there was some ability to gain assistance that I could take advantage of. Oh, that is pain. Ah. Ah. Cool. I have his enmity now. That means I get to live, right? Oh, Rocksteady, what would I do without you? Probably die through not being able to heal. Up. There's the comet. Fight him away from the comet. Regret. Regret. Okay. Hey, at least I have Fortify active now. Hello, Behemoth. I'm back. Oh. Rocksteady's out. Okay. Maybe move in a tiny bit. No, just... gonna sit there in the lava. If only you took damage from lava as well. There's no way I'm going to be able to complete this. Unless I get really lucky and just pile on damage like crazy. That was a bad meteor. Or a comet. Holy hell. Oh. Okay, now he's actually mad. Except not. Because the eye hasn't gone red. Woo! I'm not leaving empty-handed. Okay. Bad idea. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what I was thinking there. Also, I forgot heat guard. I'm immune to fire. At least temperature-wise. Do the damage. I immediately thought he was going to Zinogre. I have not crossed this line, but you have, therefore you must die. Or shortening it, the line. Ow. Please work like how I expect you to work, damn it. I know, deal enough damage. Move on to next phase. Deal enough damage. Move on to next phase. Rinse and repeat. But I'm used to Monster Hunter rules here. Or where monsters have limits! Yeah, phase 2 is what ate up my time. Phase 3 is a walk in the park where... Ah, damn it! Out of the two comets I could have gone to, the one that would have been ideal was out of reach. I'm gonna quickly grab the tail, because no way am I going to succeed this time, because I have no time. I have no time. Checking. I have 8-ish minutes to take him down. If I am able to do the final phase in that time, I have no real clue what to say. Not this again! Honestly, the Charybdis is personally the part I hate about Behemoth. It is my least favorite part of the entire fight. Thunderbolt? Okay. Meteor? Okay. Charybdis? No. No. Especially if he spams it. It's just a pain and an irritation. I probably would have been fine. That was epic. Nope. Once lucky, twice never. Oh, that was a failure. Right, hit him at all. Nope. Place it and run. Just hit him at all. Hit him at all. That's what I need to do. 5 minutes left. Have to go for the hit. There isn't much I can do besides just go for some really stupid attack and hope that I don't get knocked down. Come on. Give me more to work off of here. I'm doing my best. Might I just say, Extreme Behemoth. No way is that ever happening. Okay. Second thing broke. Hit face now. Down. Okay, Behemoth empty. Rock steady. Do my best to live. Times runs out when I've gotten to phase 4. If time runs out just as he's using a collector, I will count that as a win. There's slinger ammo. Okay. Okay. Heal up. Dodge attacks. Get him away from the comic. I'll take whatever hits need to be taken if it keeps him from destroying that comet. Okay, Cryptus. Come on. I know no monster can resist a Hunter Shark. Time's gonna run out. And again, if it wasn't for having to run through all the Cryptus and try and get in to attack, or most of my attacks missing. Most of my attacks missing probably has a lot to do with it because he's so damn big! With the biggest part that you can hit, needing absurd sharpness to be able to hit. Oh. I'm surprised time hasn't run out yet. There we go. I'm not sure what I could do better besides play really, really aggressively. Like, go for 2 attacks when he's using the Charybdis. Just really lay into him. And, you know how I was saying before about the whole Twitch stats not updating with OBS? Yeah, it's stuck on the 12-minute mark, so I'm just going to close that down. And if a sudden tank happens, I'm just quickly bringing up my stream just so that then I know everything's fine. Because I use that partially to determine how good the stream is going and whether or not anything bad is happening. But it also eats into my computer's ability to stream. So, yeah. I am now making sure that the stream is okay. Looks like it is. I constantly worry with World. It's one of the few games that, for some reason, it eats into my computer's ability to process. So I can't have the stream up in a separate tab. Otherwise, then the stream actually tanks in what it could put out. Because not only am I trying to watch back my stream, I'm trying to transmit my stream and play a game. So, Any suggestions for or what monster you would like to see next? Because, haha, Behemoth is going to be a no. I think I need at least one other person there to be able to fight Behemoth. It's one of those... It's not going to happen until things get better. Like, equipment-wise, at least. You know what would be a good thing to do?
Buenas tardes.
Doing a couple more quests. But not to clear out quests from low and master rank. To clear out quests from... I said master rank, I meant high rank. From low and high rank. So let's check master rank. I have a couple that are the requests. So evasion mantle upgrade, special tickets, the decor materials, and of course the Rocksteady upgrade. Rocksteady upgrade wouldn't be that bad. I just really don't want to do it. You know what would be better instead? Let's fight a Zinogre. But not just any Zinogre. Yeah, I'm immediately bored. Or I'm trying to find something that's interesting and could be fun to do. But dear God, is it irritating to try and find something once you've done most of what there is to do in the game. And it's not even the game's fault. I mean, it kind of is, but it's more the player. I don't like grinding when there isn't a purpose to it. Or if the grinding is absurdly tedious, like, oh hey, you have to grind in the grinding lands to unlock the next few stages to level up the area. Then you can grind against other monsters so that then you can get their materials and upgrade the area even more. And so on and so forth until eventually
Path has opened up here.
you reach a point where everything's maxed out and now you can do whatever. And my only problem with that is just the lengths at which it goes. Seriously, it gets boring in the grinding lands. And that's not out of a lack of quests to do. It's more just everything goes so slow. Fighting a monster, yeah, if you break all of the parts you can break on a monster, then you got something.
Partner. Am I going crazy, or was this opening not here before?
It was always there, we just never noticed.
It's gotten chilly all of a sudden.
Maybe instead of preparing for a ball, cotillion, or gala, could have brought some, weather-appropriate gear.
Holy. This looks just like the Hoarfrost Reach.
Yes.
First it was a volcanic region, and now somehow we stumble upon this place. This is actually really exciting.
This is why I grabbed the dragon-proof mantle. See? Prepare.
Oh, wow. These tracks. It's like they're pulsing with energy. Hmm? Hang on. There's no mistaking it. It's from a subspecies of Zinogre. I'll head back to camp, partner. continue on with the investigation, okay?
Here's to Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
That grim black lightning and fearsome red aura, that could only be a Stygian Zinogre. There have been eyewitness reports of its appearance here, too. Hope you have some nullberries on you.
Right now the only downside is I forgot this took place in the cold part and didn't bring any hot drinks. I would say live and learn, but honestly, probably won't. Please. Please. Okay. There we go. Power cone. Which?
There it is! A Stygian Zinogre! It's really here!
Quite helpful when you want to pile on attack buffs. Now, I fought as an ogre earlier than expected. I'm now fighting as an ogre that is Stygian at roughly the time they want. With some pretty appropriate armor as well. Stop with the red zappy zap. If Fur was here, he'd probably be really happy. He loves Stygian. Genuinely one of his favorite monsters. Was really sad that it was only in 3. As soon as it was discovered that he was in World, instant elation. Okay, I'm Bison. Let's dance. Into the wall. And I'm not going to worry about gathering stuff using the capture net. If I really needed stuff, I would focus on gathering it. Okay. Need to play a bit smarter. Okay, but health. I love how he sounds as well. Okay, that. Dragon Fruit Mantle. Up. Didn't focus on Dragon Lightning. I'm a bit distracted right now with how much death he is able to dole out. But nothing can handle the shoulders of a greatsword user. Seriously, those things are stronger than whatever the gutters and Gears of War are made out of. There's the flip. Okay. Combo move. Just keep running. You could shoulder tackle too, but that third attack happens way too fast. So, if you think you could handle it, go right ahead. That felt like such a reach to hit. Okay, I want more of him tenderized. But, nope. Another combo. Ah. Oh. Dragon proof ran out. Well, guess I'm doing what I can with this. Well. That's a lot of health missing. And now there's none. Okay. Going away. Let's take a null berry. I don't like when my stuff is sealed. I mean, before I think it was just affinity that you lost, but World actually made it seem understandable. Dragon was what made you lose your element. And in old games, I thought that was the same thing. Into the wall. Oh, thanks. You even moved closer to it. Charge. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I never like when that happens, where the monster gets up and in the process of getting up, just magoos themselves into not getting hit. Okay, tenderize that face again. If you don't like tenderizing face, then, I'm sorry. Has to happen. Or tenderizing. Because then that means I don't lose sharpness, meaning less whetstones, more damage uptime. Ah, everything just gets better from there. There's the tail gone. Yeah. Now we... Oh, I thought it was going to immediately go full power. There he is. There's the full power. And I'm not going anywhere near that area. Since fighting Stygian in an enclosed space is a one-way ticket to the underworld. Just imagine how bad his attacks would be. Just all condensed. There would be no getting out of it. Face. Power. Stygian. I'm over here. Oh. Cool, you're doing your thing. Run 1, 2, go to the side. Ah, that felt so nice. I mean, if I stunned him, it would have been even better. If I had Element, I'd have gotten a lot of blast procs. Oh. Dragon Blade's gone. I'm not too observant. Then again, I am relatively tired. Sleep has kind of not been good to me. Can't wait for Furious and Raging. Because that's just an armor upgrade for me. Mostly in the form of Raging. Up. The line. Has them crossed. What? He just stopped. He stopped in the middle of his combo. Hot drinks worn off. Millberry. He does a lot of flips. Yeah. Thought I'd get hit. Oh, you are tenderized. Oh, are you? You know what? I think you need some time with the wall. I think that's gonna be... Yeah, that's gonna be good. I have some trouble because monsters seem to have this habit of not being too nice. And, well, surprisingly, I do awful. Enraged. But not powered up. Your face. Safe spot when you flip. Okay, can't get to his other claw. Just kind of ate my stamina there. Then again, both claws are already broken. So I just need to break his spine. Like Bane, Batman. That would be a cool monster on the crossover. Batman. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what they do with it. Probably something to do with Palico. Then again, I'm trying to think of what else could be a really amazing crossover for Monster Hunter. Huh. My mind's pretty empty. Ooh. I can capture him. Perfect. If I'm correct, he doesn't have the same thing with Zinogre and the shock trap. But I'm not going to take any chances. If he's able to draw energy from Dracophage bugs and the shock trap, then that's not going to be good. Pitfall trap's just safer. Might as well grab some hot peppers along the way. Silently sneak up. And when he doesn't expect it, hit him. If you want to do stuff like that. Otherwise, just do that.
Good job, partner. Let's head back to Celiana and report.
It's only been an hour and a half. Man. 3 hours to go.
Hey!
What's up, Admiral?
Up for a field trip?
Aren't we supposed to head back?
There's something you must see. Let us go.
Yes! I'm unlocking so much at this point.
Because if I'm correct, I then get the chance to see some Sapphy stuff. Oh, this is going to be great. Almost unplugged my headphones.
Admiral? What are we gonna take a look at?
His lips are sealed. Guess he wants us to see it firsthand.
We're here.
Let's drop.
What is this?
This way.
You sure sniffed something out, eh?
I'll check it. This texture. It's like shredded skin. A particular type of webbing. No. A shroud. No way! Xenojiva. It's shedded its skin countless times here. Does that mean?
Just as I suspected. Something bad is brewing.
We must hold council.
Let's hurry.
There's the thing.
Go!
And another fight I might never be able to complete.
What's that?
Just get all that. Okay, what's this? That's actually really nice. But yay! The Safijiva storyline is going to happen, and I'm now happy. Because that means raging is soon to happen.
Hi! Hello?
Oh. Large monster hunt. And let's get inventory sorted. Just go with Elder for the time being. Just simple. Okay, tracker. Yes! Oh, this is going to be fun. And Furious Raging. Whoa. Forgive my lack of excitement, but
See you around.
I'm not going to use their... I'm not going to use Ruzhang's weapons. Brack, however...
We got some new
That's going to be a
technology.
yes. Ah, yes. Customize your weapon's appearance. Layered weapons. No effect on performance. Appearance in this venue will take precedence over anything set in custom upgrades. If you remove any mods you have equipped, all the items will be returned to you. And some weapons do not support this type of customization. So I believe, if I could not fumble, I could do this for, yeah, for the Brack weapon. Which, I then get to see all of the stuff. And, of course, I could make it look like the Guild Palace or the Frozen Spear Tuner. I'm actually overly excited by that. But that also means I can have the amazing look of the Guild Palace weapon on whatever I felt. Like if I didn't like the immovable Dharma, Guild Palace. And I slightly don't like how the immovable Dharma looks. And that's mostly just the guard. I don't like how the guard looks at all. And of course, I can do the same for our Jagras weapon. Meaning we get something interesting like Jagras and Bone, which doesn't actually look that bad. Or of course I could go with a different monster. I'm excited to have this open to me now. If I could get the upgrade limit removed, I would. But Stygian's know your armor. Yep. You got Latent Power, Windproof, Part Breaker, Earplug, Tremor, Flinch Free. Elder Seal boost as well. And Latent Power Secret. Never gonna use Latent Power. Just, I don't see it as worth it. Layered Armor, probably don't have anything new. Yeah, nothing new. Charms, maybe. And that would be... Right? Okay. Resentment was unlocked at some point. Yeah, this is probably for me finally getting enough materials to, for once, unlock the charms. Let's see about upgrades. So, still don't know what claws or bones I need. I know I need the Phantom Core ore and a Brachiodos Pallium. The Pallium is going to be the tricky part. The other two items, since I don't know what they are, will also be a bit of a challenge. Oh yeah, because I haven't fought Raging Brack, I don't get to know that his weapons exist. Because he's in the vein of, you only see them once you fight them. And sadly, Raging Brack is going to be pretty much immune to his own element. And now I can explore the Tundra region, if I so desired. Oh. So yeah, that would be for Safi Jiva, I believe. Let's see what the Grinding Lands has to offer. Right. Okay, Nightshade, Anjanath, and Lavisia. I should just bite the bullet, do more grinding land stuff. Might as well go after... Who do I go after? Probably Anjaneth. If they don't have the next level of Guiding Lands Monster Bone material, then I don't know what will. Because I think I've hunted a Rathian in the Grinding Lands, so... Oh, yeah. Need to eat and need to get proper items. So, grab ourselves the capture setup. Get a meal. It's weird how there's very little music here. I don't like it. Then again, I just don't like this area at all. Most of my dislike just comes from the grinding aspect. And the fact that, hey, you faint, you lose part of the materials you would have gotten for rewards. So, if you're just gathering and you faint, you lose some of whatever you would have gotten for gathering. Unless it's just monster materials. Have that downside to that. Done and over with it. If you don't fight, that'll make it faster and easier. Cool, Bobo Hunter. Fruit charge. Another fruit charge. And yeah, I play mostly for successive fruit charges. I don't play draw attack too much. If I were to get Arch-Embered Volcan armor, which isn't going to happen for a while, I could probably do a lot. I could try and get Frostfang as well, just to get the One Piece punish draw. Tenderizing the face. Yay, materials. Now let's see if I can dislodge this rope from Angela. What do you mean it's not? It's actually a tail. I see a tail as a rope. They don't need it. At least I don't think they need it. I'm a hunter. Not an ecologist. Nope. There we go. That worked. kind of hard to tell. But with the tenderized texture and the blue texture layering together, as well as them kind of looking the same. I'm so happy Rise doesn't have a tenderized mechanic. And I'm even fine they did away with mounting for the ride mechanic. Just means that Insect Leap now has one more aspect to it, where you now ride the monster, either that you're fighting or one that came in and just so happened to get enough hits against it to cause the ride to fight other monsters. You know, just... So I have this whole thing where if he is to appear, Devil Joe always appears and just acts as a bonus weapon to me. He harms whatever is going to harm me, and just in general does an amazing job of assisting. So now with Rise, that's actually true. There's tail broken. If I was able to hit, I may be able to break his leg. Unless I already did break his leg. Again, kind of hard to tell with the tenderize. Not getting hit by that. Don't want to. Successful mount into a bunch of stabbing. Just take advantage of local flora. And hopefully grapple with the fight with Angela. I know I'm probably being a bit presumptuous thinking that this is going to end fast. Honestly, if it can end fast, I hope so. I mean, part of me is just, I need to gather all the material on the ground. I don't want to lose anything. Fierce Dragon Made Bones as well. Engine and Claw. I need some of the higher end stuff. Okay, an extra part break. He's limping. So, one trap. Well, that was the thing. Dip. Come on. Fight me. Oh, that first one didn't hit. Okay. That's him good and done. And... let's immediately return to Celiana. Because why not? I also need to take a break for a bit and refill on my drink. Set up my streaming environment so that then the last few moments of day don't make way to night and cause me to go, why is it so dark in here? Or some other elegant way to put that sentence.
Don't let me down.
Large monster capture. Let's talk to the ecologist just in case. Okay. Lots of stuff. Take care of the tail raiders. And then... man. Let's go and break in the room, that way then I can adjust the music. So then, break music isn't just the Celiana theme. It could be something nice. Like the Namiel theme. Perfect. Okay. So. Of course, be right back. Do whatever you need to do. And probably reconvene 5 minutes. Maybe. Alright, I'm back. Hope you've enjoyed the Namiel based break. Oh yeah, I tried to make my Rumoga theme, so there's that bit of knowledge there. Oh, second login bonus. And just telling you about this because that's how it works. The reason you can get 2 login bonuses is if you haven't played for 2 days, but your login bonus is late in the day, like the last time you logged in. So you can, if you start playing earlier on the next day, you end up getting the first one, and then if you continue playing until the last time you logged in, you can then get a second login bonus. It's interesting how that happens. At least I think it is. Anyway, let's talk to the Seeker just to get on with that council.
Gather around, everyone. Let's run down what we know. The 5th discovered a new area in the Guiding Lands that resembles the Hoarfrost Reach, and sighted a subspecies of Xenogre to boot. Thanks to their efforts, it looks like we'll be able to start a thorough investigation of the region. Good work, you guys. Then there's that molted skin we found deep within the earth. And to add to all that, our team sighted some enormous red monster.
Correct. This gigantic monster has several unique traits, and I attempted to compare it to documented monsters. But unfortunately, not everything adds up. We may have a completely new, unknown monster on our hands. But wasn't that Xenojiva down there? Given how we found the place, it must have matured and molted its skin numerous times.
We can't say for certain, which is why we must investigate at once.
Got that right. Boss man, I have an idea. We'll go in with a small group to do some recon. Once we figure out what that thing is, we'll return with a larger group to start the investigation proper. For all we know, we could be going up against a 3-headed monster that shoots lightning bolts.
Nice Godzilla reference. Mostly King Ghidorah.
That's why before we get down to business, we need to observe it. Figure out what makes it tick.
This thing must be something if you're not willing to go in head first, but I understand. We'll do it your way. Just promise me you'll turn back before you get in over your heads, all right?
Understood. We won't tell it for very long. Well then, I'll go about...
Partner!
Your curiosity is getting the better of you, huh, kid? Don't worry. I know the feeling.
No, I was just nodding because I was starting to fall asleep.
There is no one better suited for the job than you, Hunter.
All right, let's go over this one more time. First, we'll ready a special assignment just for this occasion. Then once we launch a full-scale investigation, we'll call for all available hunters to assemble in the gathering hub. The objective of this recon assignment will be to observe the monster's behavior. It probably goes without saying, but feel free to bring any other hunters that you can trust. We'll launch the full-scale operation once you return to base and we're able to examine your findings. That should cover everything. Stay safe out there.
While you face off against the beast, I shall concentrate on trying to discover its true nature.
All right. Looks like we got everything sorted out. Hunters, to the gathering hall.
I now feel sad. I got no friends. Well. I don't really have much of a way to go out and explore or take on Safi. Because I'm pretty sure a solo Safi hunt requires a lot of planning and better skills than I could possibly ever hope to have. Plus, I'm probably meant to have a ton of endgame gear and such. Like, went through all the Grinding Land stuff, got to a point where I was getting Brute Tigrex to show up, and the Gold and Silver Wraths. So, considering I haven't done that, and probably won't be able to do that for quite a while, because seriously, why is the Grinding Land so much of a drag? I mean, currently I have level 3 in the forest, and that's through mostly hunting forest-based enemies. And I do the occasional hunt in one of the other areas. I mean, I know fighting Banpro would probably easily level up the Grinding Lands in no time. But I don't have that time to wait for him to show up. And I need to quickly copy the session ID, since I had to clear the chat. Session ID shouldn't have changed. Just in case. There it is. Oh. A gold exclamation point.
Great job.
I didn't even think that would have been a thing, but apparently it still is. Might as well head to the other areas just to see, because who knows? People in those areas could have something. Nope. Oh. I now need to head to the research base. I also need to take on the quest to unlock my master rank, because I just let it sit, since I don't need it to be any higher than 49 for the time. Okay. Back to Celiana. And then I should
Let me think.
take on the quest or complete my hunter rank. Or my master rank. Because I need to be master rank 100 to fight certain things, like Ruiner. Mostly, I can think of a certain quest I would like to do. But for the time, as it stands, I could take on Frostfang with the USJ. Oh yeah, or Old Dog New Tricks, which is probably more of what I'm supposed to do. Well, let's attempt to fight against Frostfang. Because why not? Oh yeah, reason I don't play public is because don't really trust other people. Mostly, I have played with randoms before, and sometimes they're really great people. Other times, when you hunt with somebody saying that the light bow gunner is doing a terrible job because they aren't using a specific setup, that kind of sours the mood. I mean, toss in a bonus on playing with them and having that hunter who decided, hey, let's insult one of the fellow hunters based on how they're playing. And then be the one to fail the quest for everyone. After hyping it up that they're so amazing. Have you guys ever played with somebody like that, where they think they're everything and more? And yet, they're the one who seems to be playing awfully. Ah. Oh. No berries. Please. Well, aside from a slight bit of hecticness, I actually like this more than regular Behemoth. Wish I had my ice fruit mantle, but I forgot all about how mantles existed. Okay. If it wasn't for the fact that Behemoth, much like others with the similar skeleton. Oh. Yeah, I should have just stayed down. Thank you, iframes. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying. On the whole tenderizing. Trying to tenderize Behemoth and similarly skeleton monsters is a bit of a challenge when the entire front half of their body is what they're hitting with. And that's pretty much all of what you can latch on. Okay. Staggered. Hit him in the face. I really do like how Frostfang plays. It's one of those designs that works in favor of the monster. Well. There's my attempt at a mount attack. I don't really go out of my way to try and mount the monster. I mean, when I do, this kind of thing happens. And it's not that bad. I just need to pay attention. Oh, it appears that your tail has become untenable. I dislike that. But I will attack it anyway, because I need to cut it to reduce your range. Slightly. Oh, there's two. Staying down as I get my mantle. Then no berry. There was the second one, which took half my health. Please. So that's mostly just to get hunters to push back, rather than keep on at that range. Even though I just immediately demonstrated how that could easily not affect a hunter. I do need Ross to be upgraded. If it just gives me more time with it, that's perfect. Powders, because why not? Create flash pods. Yep. There it is. I knew there had to be some sort of rub with that. Oh. Latch on. Seems like a perfect time. Hopefully I'll break away. Oh, that didn't reduce his range at all. Yeah, I'll take it. It's damage. And when using a Blast Blight weapon, damage just is everything. Because even the smallest amount can allow you to get some extra blast on there. Oh, cool. Broke his face. Much like my first fight against Zinogre, it was a bit overhyped. And I mean that mostly for fighting it on PC. I had built up, oh, I'm not going to have a good time with that because I'm not sure how it'll go, and my only prior experience was fighting it once. And then fighting Stygian in the PS4 version. So, I mean, with Frostfang, it's a case of it's a monster I haven't fought yet. At all. And now that I'm fighting him, he's a bit underwhelming. Now, it could be that I'm not fighting him in his home field, the Hoarfrost Breach, but honestly, the real tell of whether or not it would have been difficult is from this. Because you have very little chance to move around and get some breathing room. Oh, I paid for that. Second one is a leading shot. Thank you, Fallen. There's the second one. It's interesting how having just one more step to a move can really mess with how you see a monster. Like with Joe's Lord of the Dance. Add an extra step to that, and it's just, if you've already dodged it, safe. Okay, Agitator's worn off. I can now smack him into it. Nope. Ah. Come on. You want the wall, you know you do. Except you turned at the last minute. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to introduce them to new things, like wall. Wall is precious and something we should hold dear. Especially as the world gets seemingly worse and worse. Oh god. Okay. Frostfang. Could I try this once again, where I introduce you to my friend, Wall? This is Wall. You're friends now. Yep, immediately bored of this fight now that... I mean, part of it is... It's just very off with extra stats. With extra stuff. And as nice as it is to see a monster with some extra moves or changes in their whole battle, it's still a monster I fought a lot. If anybody who played 3 remembers the quest to obtain Tenebra, trust me, I did my due diligence. I got the weapon, got what I needed to upgrade it. Didn't get to a high enough hunter rank though. Oh, probably not the high enough hunter rank. I guess it would be more the point in which I could take on the monsters required to upgrade it besides just the tickets. Because grinding for tickets is easy. Grinding for the other materials, haha, no. So, Frostfang, buddy, could I interest you in getting this done and over with sooner? No? No, gonna fight to the end? I mean, I don't mind you being lively, it's just... I'd prefer if we settle this a different way, you know, some better way that allows me to live and you to be on the floor. Carved. You remember Wall, right? This is the other Wall. The cooler Wall. And, yep. Not even to a true charge. Just a wall smack into a draw attack. I put a pillow behind my back because I was starting to just... It was not a great feeling. And so... now it's a bit better. Honestly, just need to adjust a bit more. I mean, then again, this is an old chair. The padding in it is pretty much gone. So, could just mean that I really need to get a new chair. I mean, you can hear the creak every so often in my microphone. Oh, and if I'm silent, so... that should partially tell you that, yeah, this chair probably needs to just go. And now the cushion at my back doesn't feel like it's working. So, just going to do away with it. I feel that slight bit
It's so cold.
of difference, but not much. Okay, even more new bounties. Elder Dragons. Go with capture. And time to check what Frostfang gives. Because if all you need to unlock Frostfang is the pelts, and there's no other materials required,
Want
then...
something making?
Okay. Not upgraded. Forge. Armor. Did I unlock it? And if so, where is it? Did I not unlock it? Or did I just pass it because I was going by too fast? I mean, would it be right next to Behemoth? Okay. I guess I didn't unlock it. I mean, I have unlocked the Stygian stuff. So that's something. Okay, there's actual fangs and there's a ticket. So there's a proper ticket for this. And I just fought a regular Frostfang. Okay. Is there actually anything I could properly do? I mean, there's that, but I'm not exactly sure what special material rewards they would give me. I mean, you got the USJ, but I assume that special material rewards means USJ. Yeah, I'm probably just going to call it after 3 hours. Because I have rapidly lost interest in this. And by all means, it's not the game's fault. I've already said part of it. And I'm probably not going to do Monster Hunter stream for World unless I just feel like spur of the moment. And you know what? I think I'll stream I need to prepare properly. Energy drinks and herbal medicines. Because otherwise I'm going to face a lot of trouble. But anyway, I think the other part of what makes it not too fun to stream Monster Hunter, at least World, is the constant fear that, oh, no, it's just going to be a mess. Like, multiple frame skips, just stuttering everywhere, and it's not going to be fun. Or enjoyable to watch. Because getting to this point, I had a fun few moments that I wish I had streamed for. Or at least recorded so that then I have something. And then I could share some of the more interesting or funny moments. Okay, thankfully it's just to the den of poison. And now everything is perfectly organized. Rathian, could you slow down a bit? I'm trying to catch up so that then I can fight you. And what are my Scalflies on that they needed to say, no, go back, go back. You aren't following the Rathian, you're following something else. Again, why I don't like Scalflies, and what is up with this Rathian? It is booking it every chance it gets. If it comes down to it, I'll hit it with a slinger pod, and hopefully it'll crash and fall to the ground. Or this works. There we are. Still forgot to change out my mantle. I thought she was going to do the backflip, so I was just going to take it. Okay. Rathian, I see that you're really mobile. You're really into charge attacks. But might I offer the suggestion of no, don't. Dear God, please don't. It worked. Did. And now wail on him. That looked so much better than reality would have you believe. Because that was, in fact, not 30,000 damage. It was probably 300, and then some number that ended in 12. They never expect the exploding bush tactic. I think the other thing is, I don't want to have any sort of long periods of just silence. And I get really focused on points, and I often forget speech is a thing. In some games, I craft wise, and it makes it at least funny to me. Or I can have, you know, those few in-jokes play out. Like anytime I play Yu-Gi-Oh, I just scream at Landis at the top of my lungs. because that was something I decided, how funny would this be? Did it and found it enjoyable for myself. It became my own little in-joke meme. Or for Monster Hunter, it's the desire sense, which isn't really a joke. Okay, I believe it to be true because how else can you explain needing a common item and getting none of it when it has an overwhelming 90% chance to spawn? And of course for Terraria, well, Terraria I'm just kind of all business. I don't have too many jokes about it. And at the same time for Terraria, I don't have all that many stories. Nope. I plan. Nope. You are not flying out of here. Or flying away. Flying, period. You are going to be on the ground, stabbed by a hunter multiple times, until I decide enough is enough, and I get to use my baby knife that I carry around. And the world decided that this giant sword was going to meet your face at some point in time, and you are not escaping this. I wish I had some way of stopping her, but not too much you can do about a monster determined to get out of there. Thankfully, I should know where she's going. She's either going to the internal nest of the tree or the external nest of the tree. My bet would have been external. And she's quickly approaching. And yeah, I'll use the... No, I'll use the pitfall trap since... she should be here soon. Not exactly sure where she lands, but I'm hoping roughly right here. Close. Okay. Come on. Yes. All I need to do is find Nightshade. And yes, a bunch of tempered monster stuff. Updated all at once. Now to search. And I don't really fight Nightshade because don't use its weapon and don't use its armor. Just not something I considered. Especially since the closest I ever got was grabbing artillery for a gun lance set off of the Palu armor. Because that was one of the only ways I could have got artillery. And I mean, I'm talking about like early on pre-Zora stuff for getting artillery. Scoutflies, you better not just be leading me back to the Rathian I just captured. Because I swear to God, if you... Okay. You are leading me directly back to the Rathian I just captured. God damn it, Scoutflies. This is why I don't trust them. You don't want to track the monster anymore. Why are you still Why are you still tracking the captured Rathian? It's captured. Thankfully, I guess Right and Nightshade would be over here. And I know where it is on the map. So time to go after it. Yeah, unlocking my hunter rank would probably be the best quest to stop at. And then I get to see my hunter rank once it's done. Oh, wow, the Scoutflies couldn't track it until I grabbed that final clinching piece of evidence. Tail. Held down the wrong thing. Just tenderize as much as I can. Nightshade, might I interest you in not mobility being hampered is kind of a thing I don't like. And why do I keep latching onto your tail? Okay, wing. That's different. I prepared for this. Ah, energy drink. Oh, but you're just all the sleep. Could you go towards an area where I don't have to fight you in deep water? Pretty sure your weakness is water, so why are you even leading me here? Okay. Over here. Oh, you gotta be... You were annoying solely because you were in the water. In the cramped confinements of that spot, where I didn't really get much of a chance to do anything that resembled a strategy beside hit and tenderized. At least I know my stamina is not going to be low. At least the cap. Actual stamina, ha. Can't manage that to save my life. Which isn't a great thing. Out of the sky. Oh. I don't like how fast you run out of stamina when you do any of the clutch block stuff. Because, say you knock the monster into a wall. Well, good luck with that. If you're out of stamina, you can't run to it because you are not miles away. And if this is meant to be not just a multiplayer, but a single-player aspect, then why punish the player by sending them away from the monster? Or was the force of it smashing its face into the wall just too strong for you to hold on? Or maybe, just maybe, Clutch Claw back to. Finally! Latched onto its face. Part of it I wanted to tenderize the most. Well. Okay, clutched onto leg. Go to face. Unless it's fine, then never go to face. Just go to the tail. Flash bombs, unless it's too heavy. And even then, there are quite a number of Elder Dragons that don't get affected by flash bombs. Nope. No, that move brings sleep. Well, second mount works. Let's see if we can knock Balloon out of the air and not into one of the sleep clouds. Smashing into one of the sleep clouds would be awful. Failed use of Slinger Burst. Then a use of an ammo that is actually really good with Slinger Burst. Because of moments like that, where I've now just multiplied its suffering. Back here. If I take you out, and this quest is done, I can end the stream. An hour and a half early. And tend to my back, because, dear God, what is happening? It's an ever-shifting thing. Not always there, but not always gone. Okay. Back over to here. Ready the shock trap. Since it's faster and easier to find the materials for. Hit it with the Thorn Pod just to make sure that it stays. And just give me that slight bit of a twitch so that then it doesn't have time Oh, cool. VIP full bloom ticket. Okay, level cap for Guiding Lands has been removed. Rathian's been improved. And Pauka level. As well as Hunter rank. Let's see what Master rank I am. 55. Cool. Over halfway done. Since you only really need to reach 100, and then you're good. Wonder if that opened up any new opportunities. Steamworks, ecological stuff. Well, fence, anything new open up? Nope, because Master Rank 70 is apparently the magic number before 100. Yeah, if I ever were to play
Have a look around.
Monster Hunter and really decide to play it, honestly, I'd probably end up doing something like, I'll play it for as long as I want and not really have the setup in Twitch saying when I'm going to stream it, because it'll be spur of the moment. It'll go for however long I feel like playing, and then I don't have to worry about stuff like, oh, I have to reach this specific time, otherwise I feel bad for the people who decided to show up. Let's head back to the room. So then I can end off the stream and feel bad because I have an hour and a half that I could still do, but hey, back pain mixed with disinterest in the game. That makes for entertaining commentary, right? Well, thank you for coming on down to my neck of the woods. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. If you're watching on Twitch, you can watch all the old VODs on my YouTube channel. The link to that is in the About Me page on Twitch. And if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, I also hope you've enjoyed. And if you want to ever see me live, you can head on down to Twitch. I believe the About Me and YouTube has a link to my Twitch there. And of course, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And honestly, I probably need to take a better care of myself. So learn from me. Don't just decide to be a hermit who predominantly sits in front of a computer in the middle of the woods. I'll see you next time. Have a safe trip out of the forest, and fare thee well.